Hello, I'm the author of Intentional Dating in a World of Hookup Culture. My name is Tiana. The title is a mouthful because I want you to know exactly what it's going to be about when you read the cover. When you are intentionally dating, you're not dating to see where it goes, you're not planning to look around and waste people's time. There is a certain type of person that dates to marry. People that are playing the field, an example of this is like dating on Love Island. They're playing a short-term gratification game, and when they like grow up and lose all their looks, they're not going to have any substance to them. They're not going to have any a value to give someone. They didn't learn anything. They're desensitized, shallow, and most likely will end up like alone, divorced, with multiple, baby moms, because they're always looking for the next thing, the next best thing, a newer model, hotter, younger. I think people are confused that like on the first day, if you're a person that dates to marry, that you want commitment right away with that person. That's also like a misconception that I want to clear up, that when you are an intentional dater and you meet someone that's also an intentional dater, that doesn't mean that they're suddenly the perfect person for you. This is a time where you intentionally date. Take time to get to know that person to see if the talk they talk the talk and walk the walk is the same. In the same way, the Bible says you will know them by their fruit. Who? The true Christians. Because anyone can say they're a Christian, but let the fruit, the actions, do the talking. Right? Because many men or women can talk up a good game. Oh, I can be this kind of husband, I will be this kind of wife. But their intention of doing those things and being that person for you may not be the true outcome. So when you are intentionally dating, this is not like rush into commitment because you also met someone that's intentionally dating or that's a Christian. This is okay, let time tell, let their actions speak. Okay, because someone's intention could be like, my intention is to be a multimillionaire. But if they do not act as though and put in action in the steps of becoming a multimillionaire, then they'll never be one. And then they wasted the person's time. The intention was here, but the outcome was over here. Right, you don't marry someone for the intention of being an intentional dater. You get to know who they are truly. How do they resolve conflict? What is their attachment style? Maybe you're a person that's like, I've been looking for my soulmate, and you're like, God may never, bring me a soulmate because my standards are too high, and people tell me, like, I'm never going to find this person. I want to tell you, your standards are not too high and not to lower them just because society tells you to. It's better to be alone than to be with someone that causes you harm, conflict, leaves you high and dry in a pregnancy, someone who is flaky, someone who will not be there with you in the tough times. And intentional dating weeds out the people that tend to do that because they're non committal and mostly focused on lust. I want to say that people place attractiveness high on their scale for dating. And I'm not saying like date someone, marry someone that like completely repulses you. But when you marry, you're both going to not be as attractive as the day that you got married. And over time, looks fade. So you want to marry someone for the inside and not the outside. When you both have that mindset, then you are more resilient towards when you are married and someone who is attractive after years of being married. Let's say you've been married for 20 years, and then someone a lot younger comes up to your spouse and starts hitting on them. Are you gonna know? Do they have the self control to turn away a person that they find attractive? And that is because instant gratification, people that look at the outer appearance first when they're dating, are more susceptible to falling for you know, cheating a lot later down the line when they're married, because when they come into a marriage to like ruin a marriage and stuff, it's because of the instant gratification, and they know that that person is also instant gratification, whereas intentional dating is a long-term gratification, and both people who are intentional dating are waiting until marriage, so you're not going to have that instant gratification. You want to know for yourself and for your person that you want a lifelong commitment is able to stay away from lust. The Bible says your enemy prowls like a roaring lion. So there are people who specifically seek out married women, married men, because they like the thrill of intervening in a marriage. Relationships that start with instant gratification, whoa, that person is wham bam, muscular and tall, whatever it is, and are more susceptible to ending a relationship by the same reason, instant gratification. Whoa, she's a bombshell, hottie with a body, because they're placing their value on looks more than the in inner heart. When you see the heart as more valuable than looks, then the looks will be like a extra surprise, a more that person will be more appealing to you. Like maybe they started off like, oh, this person's cute. Maybe you weren't even looking at them that way, and then suddenly you get to know their heart, and you start seeing like how beautiful, handsome they really are. On the contrary, when someone is very good looking and they start telling you their heart, maybe there's someone that is extremely shallow, then you will start to notice their outer appearance. It changes, it becomes shallow, where you don't see them as attractive anymore. When you're a high value person and you're intentionally dating and you're attractive, then you get like the riffraff of like, well, why? It's almost like you're wasting your attractiveness on staying celibate. But as an intentional dater, you don't have to explain yourself to them. Don't waste your time explaining yourself to them. Your soulmate will know exactly why you're an intentional dater, and they will have the same reason as you, and therefore you both know why you are intentionally dating. So explaining yourself will not be necessary to your soulmate. Every no, I'm not interested in that, is one step closer to your soulmate.